And you're listening to 580 KIDO. Kevin Miller here, listening to the Real Estate Show featuring Chris Lofthus of the Chris Lofthus Group at Keller Williams Realty Boise. Remember, you can always get a hold of Chris. Chris, how can we get a hold of you if people want to have a question about real estate, buying, selling, world domination? What can they do?
Yeah, you can call our office number at 350-6228. You can also email me, Annette, Jerry, Sharon, any of us at contact us at clgeagle.com. That's Chris Lofthus Group, eagle.com. Or you can always go to our website, chrislofthus.com, which is spelled L-O. F is in Frank, T is in Tom, H is in Harry, U, S is in Sam.
And as we continue on talking about the most value you can get from your home versus new construction, once again, Burton Friesz with us. Burton Friesz Kitchen and Bath Remodeling. Burton, good to have you back.
Well, thank you.
And Chris, we continue on, to find out which areas of the home do you target when you want to get that big bang for the reinvestment buck.
Well, we do talk about that a lot, and that's a big concern for people. And, again, it goes back to dollars, and the fact of the matter is, that's in Burton. You'll have to kind of touch on this too. It's a touchy subject. You look at it. Burton came to my house and we talked about refacing the cabinets versus new cabinets. And the number, I know he's being fair. I know he's being fair because I know him personally. But it's a hard one to swallow. But the fact of the matter is, what will that do for the value of my house? And the fact of the matter is, it would the money spent. I personally believe the money spent in the kitchen or in a master bath. I really believe dollar for dollar spent, you're going to get 1 to 3 times your money out of it, just depending on where you live and the demographics of your house. But one of the things I want to discuss with Burton here is impact areas. And what I mean by impact areas is what areas of the home are truly impacting the value of a house.
Yeah, again, it's definitely the kitchen entertainment area where you're going to entertain guests, and then the master suite, of course, where if you're making the payments on the house and that's your place to get away from the world, you're going to be looking at that, wanting it to be nice and comfortable and very usable. And a lot of the newer amenities, a nice, steamy shower, not a little yellowed out, fiberglass shower. You did
like my house.
Well, I'm saying what you deserve, Chris, is you deserve a nicer kitchen. It's a beautiful house, but you entertain, and I think we should get on that.
Yeah, exactly. What are you saying?
I'm selling you right here.
But we talk about impact areas, and it's true. It's a big deal. And we just discussed my house, and we do entertain a lot. I have 4 kids, and we always have a lot of people over. We like it's kind of how I was raised, and I grew up that way. And so we always surround ourselves with a lot of fun people. And when you discuss impact areas and you discuss the value of the resale of the house, it is important because when you go look at it, and from my perspective, as we talked to Jerry about this. And Jerry says, we look at it. What's the husband looking at? What's the wife looking at? Wife's looking at the kitchen, I guarantee you. We know that. Wife's also looking at the master bath. But there's other things you guys do. So, we're just discussing how, it's Burton Friesz bathroom remodeling, but you and I were discussing yesterday how much more you really do, because what ends up happening is tell the listeners, like, what ends up happening when you do the kitchen. Like you said, you kind of start creeping down the hallway, and next thing you know, you're in the office or whatever.
Yeah, I think, we just usually have a really good experience. And since we plan things so well, the projects go, I think, a lot less painful than folks thought they were going to.
Sure.
So they're usually pretty happy to maybe redo the entryway, put in new door, new entry, new tile, spruce that up, and then that kind of sometimes leads into new windows, and before you know it, maybe now we're doing new hardwood floors, and the projects can just really grow. I just get a kick out of that. It's just the best way to do business.
Well, the thing about it too is you look at it and do you really want to have, like you just mentioned, you want to have a brand new kitchen, and your great room sitting right next to the kitchen, and it's got 10-year-old carpet.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how old something looks when you put something new next to it.
Yeah, totally. And we discussed this yesterday. Tim Scott's a good friend of mine. He's a battalion chief out in Caldwell, and he called me, and he just got done. Burton ran up to. I'm just trying to explain kind of what more Burton does, and he went up to Garden Valley and kind of tell them what you did up there. If we just you tiled the floor.
Yeah, they had the pergo floor in the condo there, and it's a pretty rustic place, but they had put new granite in a year ago, and again, the new granite kind of made everything else look quite a bit older. So we put in a very nice tile floor throughout the entry, kitchen, laundry, and bathroom main area downstairs.
Right, and Kevin, the thing about it is I want people to understand is that when you start looking at the dollar amount in your house and really what's going on is when that opposition starts to become a big opposition, right, you're going to get low offers. And there's no question about it, because I told Burton, we discussed before the show as well, is that, let's say Burton comes into your house and I said, or I came in first and I talked to you and I said, look, I need to get Burton in here. We need to fix these hardwood floors. It's going to be such an opposition because your Great Dane ran all over them and scratched them pretty bad. But the point is, Burton comes in and says, okay, you know what, we're going to need to refinish these hardwood floors, and it's $5,000. People go, oh my goodness. But the fact of the matter is, we list that house, let's just say at $299, and you didn't spend that $5,000. The opposition from the homeowner, they easily 3 to 4 times. So they look at the hardwood floors and they go, oh, that's going to cost us $20,000. And then they walk in the kitchen, they see that a couple of hinges are knocked around. There's some dings on the cabinets that are very easy to fix, cheaper than you think as well too. And those oppositions, Burton, and we discussed this, and that's kind of the point with you and I, and we discuss is we kind of work as a team, because I try to tell these people and make them feel comfortable that their money's well spent.
You bet. Yeah, you can't. You could overdo it, I suppose, that's for sure, but that's not our goal. Our goal is to make your house a marketable commodity, again, that's going to be at the top of the food chain in that neighborhood. So whatever else is listed, we want to make sure that you're going to be competing better than them.
Well, and he makes a good point here, Kevin, too, as well. You think, so you think of it this way, okay? So if you're living in, we always talk about Paramount because Tester lives there, right?
Yes, we'll always talk about Tester and where he lives, yes.
Testimonials, whatever.
Yes.
So anyways, what you got the
with
point,
Claudia and the kids.
Yes, exactly. Yes. But the point is that if you put your house on the market, you don't, here's the point. You don't know who's going to put their house on the market next.
Right.
So there could be 0 houses on the market one day, and you and your wife are discussing it. You don't realize your neighbor's talking about marketing selling their house too. So, you're sitting there, Burton comes in, talks to you, and you say, we're just not going to spend the money. We're not going to spend the money.
Well, it's like what you said, overcoming the objections, because when people are coming in to buy a home, they could say, well, these hardwood floors, that's going to be $20,000 off the price.
Yep.
Hey, we're going to do this. And it's a psychological thing.
Oh, there's no question about it. But then here's the real, where I kind of call it the dagger. You list your house, you put it on the market. Let's just say, for example, $299, right? You're happy. You think we priced it right. Priced it for a 90-day sale. You didn't do any of the repairs, right? Boom. Next day on the market, 2 doors down, your neighbor, very similar square footage size, and their house is absolutely immaculate because they fixed everything. Who's going to get the offer?
Oh, your neighbor.
Yeah, of course.
Here's a good one I was just thinking of about a year ago. Some folks were going to list their home, and we went out to look at doing some home improvement repairs, just doctor it up, right? And I said, hey, why don't I jump down and have a look in your crawl space?
Right.
Went down in the crawl space. You wouldn't believe the sewer had been disconnected. And so that whole
Lucky
bottom corner. Yeah, it's one of those days. But still, just think of the impact of that. Had nobody looked and done kind of a pre-inspection, and they'd had the home listed, had an offer, and they had their inspector come in, what a discount, or walk away.
Well, he's exactly right. And one of our things, I wouldn't say we offer it because we're not inspectors, but we have a list of inspectors, and I trust Burton, and even though Burton's not necessarily an inspector, but he kind of is. You know what I mean? He finds those things when he comes into the house. I think it's a great idea. And Burton and I discussed this too. We talked about this with Jerry Kelly, one of our client specialists. Getting your house pre-inspected, it's a huge thing. I did it with the last house I sold. We found all sorts of stuff. But the problem is, when the inspector comes in and you don't fix these things, or you don't even know about them, like that sewer problem, that person that potentially could have bought your house, when their inspector got in there, they would make the like I said, the opposition or the objection, the buyer would make that such a huge objection. Right. They would be like, so there's been open sewage under our house for whatever. But the fact of the matter is, the homeowner, just remediate it, get it done, get it fixed, get all your stuff done. And my point is, you would just be shocked at the value that it brings.
You're talking about being proactive as opposed to reactive.
Absolutely. And the thing about it is that, and I guess I just keep trying to hammer this through Burton, because you deal with it every day. I send Burton probably on average 3 to 4 times a week out to properties to take a look at them. And the fact of the matter is, I would say, how many people do you think would pull the trigger?
I'd say less than half.
Okay, so you're talking half the people. So there's half the listings right there that are not up to par with everything else that's going on. Then you add in your other competition, which is the big, beautiful new construction, right?
Right.
And here's the deal. It's just like the trickle-down effect. New construction is going to get more money. The person who put the money into their house is going to get more money than you. And if you've done nothing at all to spruce your house up and really make it look spectacular, even though the inventory levels are low, you're going to either get low offers or you're going to get no offers.
And there you have it, Burton. If people want to get a hold of you, what can they do?
Yeah, hit the website again. That's burtonsremodel.com. Pretty much just Google that. Anything close to that, you're going to find me all over the place. Facebook there, too. Or you can call me at 447-8651.
Yeah, he actually is. Kevin, yesterday we were talking about search engine optimization.
Yes.
And I work like night and day trying to work on search engine optimization. And,
I would never get that knowing you.
Well, but we talked about it a lot. It's like a competition on Google. And the fact of the matter is we Googled Burton, and we Googled him under, remodeling Eagle, remodeling Boise, remodeling Meridian. Boom, he was right there, and he doesn't even work on it.
Well, you're a lucky man.
I know I am lucky. I was shocked.
Well, once again, you're listening to the Real Estate Radio Show featuring Chris Lofthus of the Chris Lofthus Group at Keller Williams Realty Boise at 580 KIDO. You're listening.